Lottery cards. Lottery cards. Today's conversation's on the infamous lottery cards. Rudy, Alpha Investments. Everyone had a good day? So lottery cards. I was pulling out my position here. That's what she said. And adding a few of the cards from recent collection purchases to my binder. And I thought I would do a follow-up on these lottery cards. In my opinion, I never considered them investments, but I kept some because I thought the cards were cool and I liked them. Time has moved forward, and it appears that in 2021, a lot of money and a lot of people seem to be going towards continuing to buy these cards, specifically the Kaldheim era masterpieces, known as these things right here, because they're so ridiculously unique, followed by the Invocations and, of course, the Expeditions, the original ones. You know, I'm still just not a big fan of it. I'm still shocked that in an era where we have so many variants and versions being printed, and so many list slots and mysteries and VIPs and Modern Horizons and etched cards and throwbacks, and I'm surprised, we haven't had some sort of formal announcement or impact where they're going to reprint a lottery set or a masterpiece or something. They've never done it yet. But in my opinion, what's to stop Wizards from doing a, secret lair masterpieces or a secret lair, some sort of lottery card thing, I mean, that's just kind of what I see. I mean, the cards look great. They always have. I loved them from the day I saw them. But the reality of 2021 is I would not buy or look into these cards as something as a investment. I would not label these cards as investments. I like them, I collect them, and I've kind of kept these from collections, and most of these in the binder are from my mass box openings from many, many moons ago when I was a young whippersnapper. World famous, infamous Scalding Tarn from the original Zendikar expeditions. I love the cards. I still think they're amazing. But I just don't know. I don't know what to say. I just want to be on record here that in 2021, the card prices have gone up tremendously. People are buying them. People love them. They still look amazing, even though we have so many Fetchland, Shockland reprints and variants and secret layers, but the cards are performing. And I didn't think they would. I personally don't have any plans to go on the market and buy any more of these things or kind of add to them. I mean, these newer ones are from, collection videos you guys have seen recently that, contained older Magic cards, vintage cards that I bought, but many times they have a few of these type of cards mixed in, and I end up adding them to my position because I like the cards. I think they're pretty. That's really about it. That Forbidden Orchid, that's so cool looking. I love that art. It was one of my favorite pieces of art on that thing. Now, I really do believe we're going to have an era where we are going to return to standard boxes with some sort of highly sought after card. Highly sought after series of cards that are going to be very difficult to attain. They are going to have a lot more secondary market value. I don't think we're going to see more of the mystical archive type thing where every pack has a 1, 2 cent, 4 cent thing. I don't think we're going to continue to see that. I think Wizards, no matter what the public image they want to put onto the public, I'm telling you, they thrive, they're proud, and they want to see really good chase cards to get stores and people to really want to buy after them and buy into them and do that kind of thing. I'm telling you, Wizards does not like the concept of their cards being very, very cheap. And I think because of that, we are going to see a return to more expensive chase cards that are maybe 1 per box, or, even the box topper, the 1 per box or something, or more, actually, even like the original ones here, almost 1 per case, which is, 1.5 lottery cards per case of 6. I think that is going to be what we are going to return to. I don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen, but I do think that is going to be a time frame that, we're going to be talking about this. But, recently they have showed us that Wizards is continuing to innovate and find a more design space and go in new directions and come up with new ideas and cards that, contain value, and they're able to print more value. So as long as they've been continuing to be able to do that, there's been no real need to kind of reprint these type of cards. They seem to be really interested, honestly, in mostly just, reprinting cards from just regular modern and standard cards into challenger decks and list slots and mystery boxes, and that really seems to be what they're into, if you want my honest opinion. So I wanted to make a little video today. Throwback. Old school here, man. To the lottery card era, ladies and gentlemen. I just, I have them. This is my binder from the Battle for Zendikar Oath of the Gatewatch mass box opening from hundreds and hundreds of boxes. Most of these, like I said, cost base is 0 from just the mass box openings years ago. But I like to look at them. It's the first time I pulled these out of the Rudy vault in many years. And I like to sometimes just kind of do a throwback of, godly, how big of a deal and how important these cards were originally when this stuff came out. Like, I can't really emphasize enough to y'all, man, this stuff, when it came out, it was such a big deal. Oh my goodness. I will never forget when Wizards announced, like, these products they're going to have, expedition treasure type hidden cards, kind of. I will never forget. I actually think I remember the live thing on the internet. I think it was like Will Wheaton from like the Big Bang Theory and the famous dude from the movies and the old stuff. I think Will Wheaton was the dude who literally announced it for Wizards of the Coast on the official like show or convention or the event. I think he was the one who even announced that the Zendikar, they invented these masterpiece lottery card series, and the market went nuts, including myself. Everybody, we all went crazy when that happened. And now we get, a mystical archive looking card in every pack, and nobody even cares. People throw them and leave them in their LGSs, and the world's changed so far in a couple of years that the pendulum swung to the other extreme, where literally just there's stacks of them and just nobody cares, and that's where we are. And, still good looking stuff, man. Thought it'd be a nice little conversation throwback. Haven't looked at this binder, and it's probably since the last video I filmed talking about this from a couple of years back. I know the prices have gone up. I still personally don't recommend buying into them. I don't consider these investments, and I just don't see like all these cards going to like $1,000 a piece. I just don't see the growth. I just don't think it can get there. I just don't see it. I mean, ask yourself, seriously, ask yourself, what would need to happen to make these cards all be $500 to $1,000 a piece? You think these Rudy favorite filter lands are ever going to go to that? No, I don't. I just don't think it does. And a combination of modern cards and fetch land, filter land, shock lands, and whatever silly come into play, tap lands, and whatever it is, they're all going to, or partner lands, battle ball and lands. I mean, no matter what, they're always going to get reprinted. There'll be different arts and different borders and different frames, but it's proven to us in the last 18 months, especially in the secret lair flashy era, that there's just going to be endless versions of things. And endless versions of things essentially make all of the versions not really define or attractive for long term. And that's the problem that we remain with a lot of the new generation and all the new Magic players that are only having collections filled with new single cards, and they crack maybe hundreds of StrixHaven draft packs and have stacks of mystical archives and stacks of all these rares and all these foils, which foil multipliers essentially don't exist anymore. There's no premiums anymore. And that is the thing I've been really ranting about for many years, of I don't know how we're going to overcome that. I do believe the market will, and I think Wizards will change as they always change in the past, but I don't know how they're going to navigate out of this one. It's foggy still. I think they'll figure it out. I don't know how they'll figure it out, but somehow, some way, they're going to come up with some new variant and version and direction to go in, where the quote-unquote, Magic will die, the game will be saved, and we'll go into some new era. And I think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get there, but at the expense of most of the younger, newer players' collections in value erosion, and just know all the hard-earned money that they made is going to kind of dissolve and erode away. And that's always been my big concern. I've always firmly believed that newer, younger players who join the world of Magic and have a bunch of collections of standard cards and single cards, I always believe that those people who put their hard-earned money into it should maintain some sort of value for the money that they exchanged into. I always thought that was important, even for the newer players who are buying newer single cards. you know, because most people do not keep it sealed and have sealed product, and they don't just, you know, have the cash flow, or they don't have the knowledge and history to go further back into the high-end magic. So I always felt that was an important thing. I really did. So just kind of thought you guys would enjoy looking back at some of these cool old cards, and boy, it's memory lane for me, ladies and gentlemen. It is memory lane, because man, looking at these things, I still remember organizing and sorting these cards and doing the mass box opening, man. I still remember that stuff. It's crazy. I still remember going back and doing that. That's just, you know, and I never did a mass box opening on the invocations. I got a couple. This is all the invocations I have, about, what, 20 of them? And these are all the invocations I got just from collections, and they were mixed in collections over the years. So that's about all I have for everybody today. Just want to have a nice little relaxing video talking about the lottery cards and where we came from in the past. And I know it's silly sounding right now, but I think lottery cards of real value and real chase are going to come back in the coming years.